Yeah, that's right, y'all. It is the morning shift, CHUO 89.1 FM. I go by the name of Yafavouritelightskin, holding it down for the morning shift crew. Your source for hip-hop and R&B in the morning, and the number one hip-hop and R&B show in the Ottawa, Gatineau area. And I love this part of the show because we get to chop it up with somebody really representing in the community in a major way. And our next guest is a community activist, advocate, and high school educator. Her organization, 3 Dreads and a Baldhead, and BeMoreCommUNITY was founded in 2000 and provides opportunities for people in Black communities to transform their lives by maximizing their physical, mental, spiritual, and economic potential. Now, she's also one of the 5 co-hosts of Black on Black, Ottawa's weekly connection to African and Caribbean communities, which broadcasts, of course, here on CHUO 89.1 FM every Saturday at 11 a.m. And I'm happy to introduce to you and have on the morning shift the one and only Adrienne Coddett. Welcome to the morning shift.
Hey, good morning, and thank you for having me. I've been wondering how long it's going to take for me to get on the morning show. Yay!
It's a great way to start off. It's the new year, and we're off to a new start. So let's talk about, just your journey over the last year, how you were able to cope and get through that.
Well, I'm grateful. First, I want to say thank you to our CHUO family, to you specifically as well, because I don't think we'd be able to get some of the things that we've been able to do done without the great support of our CHUO team. So I remember March the 12th. It was my last live show, and we were still using some precautions and stuff like that, but we weren't yet in masks. I think we were using Clorox wipes and fighting for toilet paper at that point. But the last live show that we did for Black on Black was on the 12th of March. Considering that I've been on Black since like 1992, this is the longest time that I've gone without being in the studio. But at the same time, this year has been this interesting series of paradoxes. It's an awful and challenging time, but it's presented some amazing opportunities. And I would say for our show and for my co-hosts, as a result, we've been able to put together some amazing content. And we've been able to do the show together for a rare, what used to be a rare opportunity. We've never often been in the studio, all 5 of us on a Saturday, and now almost every week it's almost all 5 of us putting together shows and doing things. From a personal perspective, I'm already a person who can cloister for long periods of time, so the isolation isn't necessarily my challenge, but I am a social being and I do miss my friends. I do miss a good soca, a reggae party every now and then, and I do miss getting out and about around the city and experiencing and exploring the beauty that Ottawa presents and gives us, and being part of the community and community events. I miss all of those things for sure.
And let's talk about how you've transitioned, from teaching in front of people to doing it virtually online.
Well, one of the things about my teaching that makes teaching virtually challenges, I really vibe off the energy of the students in my classroom. It's a approach that I've developed that is comfortable for me, and in the way that I choose to deliver content. I teach subjects that I think keep people socially aware and socially conscious. I teach law, I teach social justice, I teach history, I teach world religions and classes like that. And so the transition for those to a virtual space, content and subject-wise, are not necessarily the challenges for me, but being in person, even in the hybrid model that we use, really taps into the true reason why I love to teach. I love being in the room with teenagers. I love being in a space as they discover themselves and their world. And I love being in the space of creating things that keep them engaged in their own learning journey. So I really do miss some of those. And I know that during our original shutdown, a lot of all of the other things that were going on, our other pandemic crisis, our racial reckoning, was also impacting me. And so it was very hard on some days to sit there in front of students and I couldn't even pretend that things were good. There was no way. And then there's the other part about all of the equity issues that virtual learning present that immediately it was clear for us, for me as an educator, how many of my students were going to be challenged by that. And then you just have to decide as an educator, what are you going to be willing to do to ensure that your students have the greatest amount of, the hugest amount of opportunity to get what they need done without having anything hamper their progress as far as any of the challenges, whether those challenges be literal or figurative. And so I decided that I would lead with empathy and grace. And it's been an amazing gift and opportunity to see the world and see my students in a sort of new vision for what's possible.
Adrienne Coddett, thank you for joining us here on The Morning Shift this morning.
It's my pleasure, and thank you so much for having me.
And we're going to get into that record right now here on The Morning Shift, y'all. CHUO 89.1 FM.